I want to greet all the participants of the Second International Scientific and Practical Conference of Young Scientists and Students, Educational, Cultural and Artistic Practices in the context of Ukraine's integration into international scientific and innovative space. My name is Bohdan Korneliuk. I'm a PhD in English and Foreign Literature, and I work at the Department of Social Sciences and the Humanities of Hортиця National Academy. I teach English and German for specific purposes, and today I want to present my report, which is entitled Teaching ESP for Students Majoring in Helping Professions, the Case of Hортиця National Academy, which will concern the challenges and achievements we had when teaching ESP for our students. The full name of our institution is Hортиця National Educational and Rehabilitation Academy. So our students major in professions which these days are often united under the umbrella term helping professions. Eva Maria Graf, Marlene Satter and Thomas Sprance-Fogarty in their article Discourses of Helping Professions, Concepts and Contextualizations define a helping profession as a professional interaction between a helping expert and a client, initiated to nurture the growth of or address the problems of a person's physical, psychological, intellectual or emotional constitution, including medicine, nursing, psychotherapy, psychological counseling, social work, education or coaching. Interpersonal and communication skills. Compassion and readiness for problem solving lie in the core of such professions as a speech-language pathologist, social worker, psychologist, physical therapist and occupational therapist, teacher for inclusive education, all of which you can master at Hортиця National Academy and all of which belong to the realm of helping professions. So people who choose these careers have to be really good communicators. It's significant for them to listen carefully, quickly analyze information, creating a helping strategy, and later communicate this strategy both orally and in the written form. This may pose a significant challenge even in their mother tongue. But nowadays students have to think both locally and globally. Thus, it is necessary for them to perform verbal communication in their professional field in English. It doesn't mean that all our students will leave Ukraine and work abroad, but even if they are employed domestically, English is vital for staying updated as for all the innovations and new developments in their fields. It is also the way to share your own experience with the vast number of people who use English as their second or third foreign language. A few words on the system of foreign language learning in our institution. The amount of credits on general foreign language and foreign language for specific purposes is different for different specializations. But we try to have at least one semester of foreign language classes each academic year. Various ESP-related disciplines are included in the list of optional subjects that students choose for themselves. Our teaching professionals prioritize using authentic materials and textbooks created by leading publishing companies like Express Publishing, Pearson, Cambridge University Press, National Geographic, etc. We work in small groups of 8 to 12 students and generally have 2 90-minute classes weekly. We usually start with the course of General English for our freshmen, first-year students. It is really helpful as we often get mixed abilities groups where the levels of language proficiency may vary from A2+ to C1. It should be noted that almost all the school leavers in Ukraine go through external independent testing in English, which is made for B1+ or B2 levels. However, it doesn't evaluate their speaking skills. The course of General English allows us to make sure our students are ready for future ESP classes. Students who experience difficulties with learning a foreign language may attend special consultative sessions that happen weekly at a fixed time. During these sessions, they may ask questions, share difficulties, and teachers might provide additional tasks for them to practice a certain skill or topic. In the classroom, such students are encouraged to speak despite making mistakes, and when we assess them, we pay attention to the progress they've made. We also try to develop their contextual guessing skills and involve them in group work or project activities with stronger students. We do everything. We go the extra mile to make sure that we created the benevolent atmosphere where a student is ready to speak and is not afraid to make mistakes. The course of General English also focuses on the so-called survival vocabulary. These are topics like personal information, food, clothes, body, organs, city facilities. We use a range of word lists that our students always have on hand with them. The next stage is the course of Business English, focusing on various types of professional interaction, from making a presentation to writing a CV or a formal email, from mastering negotiation strategies to writing monthly reports. This course has additional emphasis on formal writing, and we have the opportunity to base on the info on formal writing in Ukrainian that our students have already gained in the corresponding course. It should be noted that despite having one major textbook that we share with students digitally or through the library where they can get the physical copy of it, our teachers do not limit themselves to only one source. We share examples of real letters and emails, show lots of authentic videos, thus exposing our students to the wealth of material that may be used as an example or a template. We focus on communicative skills, so we try to eliminate learning texts by heart. Our key strategy is introducing the topical vocabulary, words and phrases presented in texts and/or audio texts. Mastering this vocabulary by doing an ample number of exercises whose difficulty level is gradually increasing, and finally, independently using these phrases in oral and written speech. The stage of exercising is crucial here. So when necessary, our teachers try to come up with tasks they create themselves. Usually we show these tasks to colleagues who assess learning materials by giving them feedback and really help in such a way to improve their quality. Learning vocabulary takes place together with mastering new grammar. Each rule is practiced in the context of a certain lexical topic. For example, when working on workplace rules and regulations, we practice modal verbs should and have to. Likewise, we practice future tenses when talking on or writing about career goals of the students. So grammar is always presented and practiced in the lexical context. At the third and final stage, we study English for professional purposes, and I will further call it EPP, as by this time our students get some professional background knowledge and expertise. All the strategies elaborated for our Business English course are further used for our EPP classes. But this stage requires even more proactive attitude and creativity from the teaching professionals of our department. One of the major challenges is the lack of English textbooks for certain professional areas. For instance, speech-language pathology, and this is the real challenge that we encountered. So we had to collaborate closely with the teachers of professional disciplines who acted as subject professionals and create our own English textbook for future SLPs. This was a really long and cumbersome process. In fact, it took over 3 years to come up with the course book, which will later be revised and updated. But no matter how tough it might have been, it is really worth it. But even if the appropriate textbook exists, we use a wealth of supplementary materials like authentic journal articles, web pages, videos to show what real English sounds like for a certain area of work. Our students take part in mini projects involving problem solving of realistic professional challenges that help to recreate the conditions of English language working environment and communicating or presenting your work to public. As future helping professionals, our students should be ready to think out of the box, and using foreign languages must not stop them from being creative and bold. We also value students' feedback, and we work in the student-oriented model of teaching. In fact, we constantly update the curriculum according to the results of yearly Google Form surveys and according to all the remarks our students make during the course. Whether they experience difficulties with certain tasks or want more practice on a certain topic, we know that, as our students are not afraid to tell us about their wishes, and they are sure that we will definitely pay attention to their words. One last thing. We try to highlight what methods our students can use to learn the foreign language or to refresh their knowledge after they graduate. It's obvious that learning should be a lifelong process, but knowing the self-study methodology makes this process much smoother, less stressful, and therefore more desirable. By the way, even after graduation, we try to stay in touch with our former students and provide advice when they ask. Rephrasing Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, you become responsible forever for those you have taught. And to sum up, I would like to share 6 tips to improve your ESP teaching that really worked for me. Number 1, use the benefits of mixed abilities group. Number 2, let students practice through Practical use of language, which involves making mistakes. Don't correct mistakes while your student is speaking. Create the friendly atmosphere that invites a person to use language. Tip number 3. Student talking time and teacher talking time should be in at least 50-50 balance. But you can strive for 60-40 or even 70-30 ratio. Insist on using full sentences. Tip number 4. Set up interactive activities and mini projects. Emulate and act out interaction that might happen in the workplace. Tip number 5. Collaborate with subject professionals, creating your own learning materials. And the last but not the least, prepare the bank of supplementary materials that give students great exposure to real-life professional English. Thank you very much for your attention. It was a pleasure to give this speech to you. Thank you very much.